The information provided by Trading Forex Price Action to you does not constitute personal financial advice. The information provided is of a general nature only and does not take into account your individual objectives, financial situation, or needs. It should not be used, relied upon, or treated as a substitute for specific professional advice. Hey guys, this is a midweek analysis for April 6th of 2022. Okay, let's start off with the pound dollar. Okay, this is a daily chart. Let me run you by the setup I'm currently looking at. So there was a strong short trade that formed right here and a week long trade formed right here. So the daily bias was short, or in other words, price was likely to reach this pivot low before reaching this pivot high. And so I'm still waiting for a pullback right back up to these 1.3230 to 50 levels for a short entry with the stop loss at this pivot high and its main target being right down here. Okay, so at this point, price is already very close to that main target level right here. And if price does reach that target level, this daily bias will go back to neutral, for the main target has been reached. However, at the current moment, since this target has not been reached, if price could still give a pullback right up to these 1.3230 through 50 levels, I will be taking a short entry with the same risk parameters as mentioned earlier. However, with the caveat at this point, for new price action that formed at this level right here can possibly show some 4-hour short-term long strength. So let me go ahead and explain what I need to happen in order to take a short entry if we get another further pullback to these levels. So let's go over to the 4-hour chart. Okay, so on this 4-hour chart, again, that daily bias is stating that price is likely to reach this pivot low before reaching this pivot high. Now, if you recall, we had lower time frame confirmation of that daily short bias through this trend line from this pivot to this pivot right here, with this breakout and immediate break back in. However, price coming right back down to stop out that pivot low right here, creating strong short strength, which confirmed that daily short bias. However, I did not take that short entry on this pullback, for the risk reward was not up to par. However, yesterday we had a breakout of this trend line from this pivot to this pivot right here. As you can see, there's a breakout and immediate break back in, which signals normal short strength. However, if price does not hit its main daily bias target right here and pulls all the way back to this height right here, where that normal short strength was created, well, that will signal strong long strength. And so at that point, that is going to override the strong short strength formed at this level right here. And so again, if that main daily bias's target is not hit and price pulls back to the 132 to 30 levels, I'm going to need further confirmation of 4-hour and above strong short strength in order for me to take this short entry, again with the stop loss at this pivot high and its main target being down here. Okay, now I'll keep you guys updated with the situation for this short setup. However, just remember, if price does reach its daily main target at this level right here, at that point, this daily bias already hit its main target, and thus the daily bias will go back to neutral. Okay, so let's go on to the Nzdusd USD pair. Okay, this is a daily chart. Let me run you by the setup I'm currently looking at. Alright, so the last long trade that formed was right here. And today, if we get a red candle close, or in other words, if the close is lower than its open, at that point, there will be a short trade that formed right here. Now, if I can get a red candle close, I'm going to measure the strength of this short trade against the previous long trade and come up with a daily bias, whether long or short. And that analysis of the strength differential can only be done if in fact today's candle closes with a red candle. Okay, so I'll keep you guys updated with the strength differential between the shorts and the longs if we get that candle close. Now that said, if you recall my weekly forecast, there was strong short strength confirmation that formed in these areas right here. And so although price was rising, it was obvious that this long strength was waning. So more or less, although not definite, I'm looking for a daily short bias to form at this point. So let me show you what I'll be looking for in terms of the lower confirmations. Let's go over to the 4-hour chart. Okay, so on this 4-hour chart, if you recall, that short strength was confirmed from this trend line, from this pivot to this pivot right here, with a breakout and immediate break back in. However, price coming right back down to stop out that pivot low where that normal long strength was created, and thus at this point I confirm strong short strength, showing that this long strength was beginning to wane. Now at this point, if I do get that daily red candle today, after I measure the strength differential of the two, and if the short strength is stronger, I'm going to be looking for further confirmation of that daily short bias through these trend lines from this pivot to this pivot right here. Now if we get a breakout, an immediate break back in, signaling normal long strength, but if price could fall right back down to stop out that pivot low where that normal long strength was created, that will show strong short strength and thus confirm that daily short bias. Okay, and another trend line I'll be looking at is from this pivot to this pivot. Again, if we get a breakout, an immediate break back in, and still have price fall back down to that pivot low, this would also confirm strong short strength and thus confirm a daily short bias. Okay, but first things first, I'll just be waiting to see if we could get that red candle close today, then measure the strength differential between the last long trade, and then at that point only, I'll begin looking for these lower time frame confirmations of that daily short bias. And if I do get that lower time frame confirmation, I will be willing to take a short entry with the stop loss at this pivot high and its main target being right down here. Okay, so I'll keep you guys updated with this setup also. Okay, so that's it for the midweek analysis. Now I'm sure that you guys noticed that in terms of lower time frame confirmation, trendline breakout confirmations are much more common than price pattern confirmation, especially on the higher time frames like the 1-hour to 4-hour charts. And that price action lesson on trendline breakout confirmations I'm currently working on, but I plan to post it at the latest by next week. So please check that out. And moreover, I'm currently working on a beginner's price action course, so beginners too could learn how to trade price action. Okay, so I hope you guys have a great rest of the week, and thanks for watching, guys. Okay, bye.